Hey everybody, Friendly Neighborhood Finch here, bringing you a disclaimer. I do not believe all of these issues make the game worse by any means. They all just make my enjoyment with the game go down more with the passing years. Please enjoy the show. It was a brisk day in the summer of 2020 when we were all inside and still scared of a microscopic virus of which killed many people, but we don't talk about that because whoopee 1.16 just dropped in Minecraft. Let's check it out. Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. Oh, fuck, what the fuck? Wow, thanks, I hate it. No, that might be too harsh. But it's how I felt going to sit down and play Minecraft after every update has come out in the past 2 years. Not that any of the other games I play were getting any better. But I digress. It felt like every year the game was getting harder to keep up with due to the way they make their updates. Mojang basically sits down and thinks, what if? And then every single one of those ideas gets postponed for 3 different updates that all act as one. Mojang has said to their fans that they were going to update current or add new dimensions. But they haven't done much aside from a few small changes to the Nether, which ended up making more people play the game, sure, just to make them more and more disappointed over the next year when it took them 3 updates to make one major content overhaul for caves. With a team of over 100 people, I get they are trying to make the future of Minecraft be more polished, but that doesn't give them any excuse, since all of those years ago, a man took 3 years, 3, to make a whole base game. And now they slack off on making 1 update into 3. I wish they would just come to terms with the fact that they can't just keep updating the game with more and more stuff that change the original game that made it so special in the first place. Add more things to the game that make it even more special than it was all those years ago. And it's almost like they are saying, keep up with the updates or stay behind. I wish I could just go back to when they would update the game and maybe add a mob or two. And add some blocks, and a small part of biome would be changed, or adding a whole new biome. Instead, they switch up the whole game and the way the mechanics work, or add completely new gimmicks to the game. Alright, another thing I'd like to mention is how in this footage I'm using in the background, I was stuck in powder snow for over 20 seconds. Because for some reason you can spawn on top of a mountain, which then makes it so that you are stuck having to dig through all of the snow before you can get out. That is a horrible way to start off a world, and I miss how I could just go over to trees and mine them instantly. Instead of spawning on top of a mountain, that forces me into having to mine all the way out of it. What I'm trying to say is the devs weren't lying when they said 2020 was the comeback of Minecraft, but maybe they were trying too many new things all at once and considering it to be a completely different game like they were back when it was just going into 1.8 on PC. The second it went to 1.8, everyone was so happy. We had a great update. And then 1.9 changed the whole combat system. Not too many people were completely upset about that, but there was still a big outrage in the PvP community because it changed the way a bunch of people played the game. So some people are stuck playing on 1.8 because they can't play 1.9 due to the combat update. Now, Hypixel has fixed this by adding their own add-on to make it so that you don't have to wait as long in newer updates. You can just spam click like you used to, but it still sometimes lags and you get worse damage. Even then, with plugins, it doesn't fix it. It always just makes the game a little bit harder every single update, but not necessarily in a difficulty challenging way. They just change too many things for people to get caught up. I mean, maybe I am a little biased to the old updates because a lot of people enjoyed the new Caves and Cliffs update, and even the Wild update. But my issue is them changing the core mechanics and world building tools, such as the structures that have been in the game since the very beginning, or just really early updates that everyone's gotten used to over the past 7 years. People have grown to know that. And as much as they may be trying to break us out of our comfort zone and get new Minecraft stuff, it's still a little bit strange that they don't just keep those in the game and add them alongside the new structures. They could easily have just made it so that they didn't have to change villages even. They got rid of some of the most iconic village buildings, like the library, because they wanted to replace it with new things. But they could have just added the lectern and stuff to the old library and old buildings while having the new ones simultaneously. It wouldn't have looked too bad. Because they even changed the dirt hut, where they used to have like the fences on top. Everyone remembers that building. Everyone hated that building, but also loved it. It was iconic. It was for Minecraft. It's what we needed. We need things that bring us back to our roots for Minecraft. We don't just need new buildings every single update. That doesn't change our experience with Minecraft. That changes the nostalgia factor. I may be getting a little bit too far into this, but I just want them to have the old structures alongside the new ones. It would make it look so much more nostalgic to everyone. And maybe even bring back some old players if they did do that. But because it's not even owned by Notch anymore, there's no chance of them listening to the community. I mean, the only thing they've done since the community has asked them to do stuff is a small cave update, which everyone was asking for since like 1.3, and a little bit of another update. But the Nether update added way too much stuff for some of the old players to keep track of. So a lot of them quit halfway through the update after they realized how much more different it was. And same with the cave update. A lot of people were asking for new caves. They weren't asking for a complete redesign of them. They were just asking for maybe more ores, not just a copper ore that's useless pretty much. All it does is stop your house from catching on fire. And oxidize, make a really nice green block. But we already have a really nice green block. Look at emerald. Just because it's a different hue of green, almost teal, doesn't mean we needed it. We would have much preferred if you added copper tools, instead of just adding netherite to make tools better that were already the best in the game. No one would have minded if they left it at diamond and just added stuff lower than that so that it's more of a gradual progression, and so that iron isn't the first thing you're getting. I wouldn't complain if copper was the new original next to iron. My issue is that they don't add new tools. And everyone's been asking for emerald tools since emeralds were first added into the game. And we still are yet to see that happen. They've been asking for literally any use for emeralds other than trading with villagers and making blocks out of them. And maybe beacons even. But they are almost guaranteed to never do that update, just due to their nature. They like keeping things nostalgic until it's not convenient for them to keep them nostalgic anymore. And even when it is convenient, they don't keep it nostalgic. Like with the cave update. I just don't understand their thought process to changing the entire cave system and adding a new ore but not giving it a proper use. It made zero sense to me when I first saw it. And the second I saw it, I'm like, this isn't something I'm going to get used to. This is something that I'm going to have to live with, but I'm never going to be used to it. So I'd pretty much just avoid copper. It's useless until late game. And even then, it's only useful if you want to use it in a build or if you want your house to not catch on fire. Everyone was asking for the addition of, like, let's say stalagmites and stalactites. But we wanted like cobblestone ones. We don't care that it's dripstone. No one cares. Because it's still cool that we have those. It adds environment to the cave. But adding all these new blocks like deep slate, nobody was asking for deep slate. It's a pain in the ass. And people just want a different variety of blocks, not blocks that are harder to mine that don't even look good. Like, I remember when they first added andesite, granite, and granite, and I was so happy about that. Like, hell, diorite's one of my favorite blocks. And that was added in one of the older updates. I can't even remember which one. I'm just upset that they haven't been able to add new stuff. Because they're too scared of ruining the audience. But then when they add new stuff, it ruins the audience because they don't add the stuff that the audience wants. Give the people what they want and they will keep playing your game no matter what. Because, albeit some ideas that the community has are pretty terrible, but some of them are genius. Like, adding lapis as a tool. That would be sick. Maybe make it so that it gives you a little bit of XP every time you mine something. Make it like some sort of gimmick. No one cares if you add gimmicks to the old one, like to the old ores. No one cares if you add gimmicks to the old ores. People just like knowing that they're being recognized for what they want from the cave update. And what they want from updates in general. My whole issue with the game is they're too scared to do stuff. But then when they aren't scared enough to do stuff, it displeases the audience. That's the whole reason why this video exists. These are just issues with modern Minecraft. This whole renewed Minecraft, let's say. It makes zero sense to me. I'm an original player of the game. I started playing it during 1.0. How, I think I was, yeah, the alpha even. And I learned that from YouTube. I saw it on a very obscure YouTube channel. I went to my friend's house and I said, hey, look at this new game. He's like, oh cool, let's download it. It wasn't free, but we had fun with the game. Everyone had fun with the game when it first came out. People just want to revert to that childish joy that they had when they first played Minecraft. Like when you first load into the world. Hell, this is Xbox. One of my first times playing was on Xbox. And my experience on Xbox was amazing. I couldn't stop smiling with how original it was to me. When I saw that big Minecraft sign made out of wool with the creeper face, it was just awe-inducing. But now we're adding new stuff that doesn't fit the vibe of Minecraft at all. Like the Deep Dark? No one asked for that. Like, sure, the Warden's cool, but it doesn't even drop anything. It's not a worthwhile boss, it's just to be an annoyance. It makes zero sense for them to have added a boss like that. It's just hard for no reason. There's no reward out of what you get. At least beating the Ender Dragon, you beat the game. You get to say to all your friends, like, hey, I beat the Ender Dragon. Isn't that cool? And they'll all be like, yeah, that's sick. Even now, people are like, oh yeah, that's sick. Or they're like, oh, I've done it a million times. But either way, no matter how people act about it, it's still cool to like have that first experience of beating the Ender Dragon, maybe even beating the Wither. Hell, people still have trouble beating the Wither with Netherite. But that's the whole issue. They don't better the game for the gameplay aspect. They better the game for God knows what. They want more block options. I would have been fine if they just left the blocks as they are and just added new stuff with the blocks. Like if they made an endstone biome. Like if they made an endstone biome in the overworld, that would be sick. I don't want one deep in the caves where I have to mine down to like Y negative 12 to find the deep dark, which is barely even an endstone thing. It's more of a deep slate thing to show off some new mechanics they've added. No one cared about that. It was cool, but it wasn't practical. It wasn't something we needed. And it made good use of using all the soul lanterns and the soul fire. It didn't better the game. It just made it more difficult and added more ways to get the blocks. There's no reason for the Deep Dark to have ever been added, due to the fact that it doesn't give you anything new unless you have Silk Touch. You can't access it until late game. It just makes no sense to me. I wish old Minecraft was still here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry for my crazy rant. I just felt like people needed to hear why I have issues with Minecraft. Because everyone's like, oh, Minecraft's amazing. I don't know why anyone has an issue with it. People have an issue with it because of the new updates. People have an issue with it because they don't listen to their fans. I remember when they used to listen to their fans. People loved Minecraft. But that's an era that's been over for a while. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I won't make much content like this, but most of my content will be similar to this, like rants. But it won't quite be this serious. It will usually just be about stuff that I'm passionate about, but won't get too heated about. Anyways, most of this video was scripted, so yeah, the last like 7 minutes weren't. But you know, we don't need to worry about that, because I think after a solid week or so of editing, I've finally come to the conclusion it doesn't matter how good the video ends up being, it just matters that you cared. I'm just saying that because I have done way too much editing over the past week. And I was told I had to have this video out by last Monday. It is now Sunday of the next week. And Monday is tomorrow. So I'm just gonna trick the people into thinking that I thought it was this Monday. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing day. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, I love you all. You're amazing. And make sure you stay safe, you stay hydrated, you wear your seatbelt if you're going anywhere, and you always stay polite. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Also, I would appreciate it